All right. Man dismissed as fat and given Ozempic before doctors find 60-pound. We're not doing it together anymore.
Sorry,
60-pound tumor in his belly.
And seen.
Weird loser. Just kidding. It didn't say
This one's
that.
funny because the photos, they're a little nasty, but they're very much like.
Oh, I gotta see this
You
shit.
thought that this was an obese man.
Okay.
But his entire belly was a giant tumor.
Was it?
I'm going to scroll down. You ready for this?
So let's guess before we look at it.
Okay.
Do you think he actually looks fat, or is this just like...
I've seen this.
Okay.
I don't know.
Is it an easy mistake anybody could have made, or were these doctors
If you're
wrong?
a doctor, I think you fucked up big time.
Okay, let's check it out.
Let's see it.
Truly a skinny, sort of a thin man
Oh, no!
With just a giant pregnant-looking belly.
with a basketball belly.
It looks like he literally has a basketball under his shirt.
Yeah.
Now, my wife is 30 weeks pregnant right now, and she looks just like this. It does not look like any kind of fat you can become.
Oh, it's so good.
Thomas Kraut's growing belly was dismissed as obesity by the world's dumbest doctors.
Alex, you want to read this whole thing?
He's
in that voice?
Norwegian.
Okay. Doctors were convinced that a Norwegian man was simply fat for 12 years. Damn, dude. But his growing belly was actually expanding with a 60-pound malignant tumor. So is this guy dead?
No, he's fine. He just lives in Norway. They have healthcare over there.
He was. Well, it can't be very good.
Bad.
I'm a Republican now. He was diagnosed with obesity and even got prescribed Ozempic. That's so funny. Where they discovered the growth, leading to a 10-hour surgery for its removal. I bet like 8 of those hours were just finding a really big hefty bag to put it in. Thomas Kraut, 59, had his operation in Oslo, Norway, after his stomach kept getting bigger, with doctors initially convinced he was simply overweight. Here's a picture of him looking very normal.
Yeah.
Is this is before?
This is probably after.
How quickly did this tumor get to be 60 pounds?
Also, he's in front of a wooden thing that's like an eye chart, but it spells out "I love you" to the moon and back.
Plus infinity XO.
That sucks.
Jeremy, you failed the eye test
I
in
couldn't
the
see
New York
it.
Post.
It got really blurry at the end.
He's got a funky tattoo of, I
Yeah.
guess, a raven on a sword.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, it didn't help him.
No, and he also has a dog tattoo.
And he kept going to the doctor, and they were just like, you got to cut back on the Oreos, pal.
Yeah. He's had about weight loss and nutrition courses. All the cancer grew inside of him.
Good Lord.
Kraut, originally from Germany, if you can believe it, moved to Norway to work as an optician in 2008 while his wife, Inez,
Inez.
I think it's Inez, works in the health sector.
So there were a lot of doctors, and the wife works in the health sector, and she's not going.
And he's an
don't think
optometrist.
This is what this man's belly looked like.
Oh,
This is insane.
If I was an optometrist, I'd be checking everybody's eyes here because this
Yeah.
does not look like
He
any
does-
kind of normal
and it probably
situation.
felt hard.
Yeah. He looks
God.
crazy.
He has like Winnie the Pooh's belly.
This is underneath his belly because I think this is his dick and balls over here that they've blurred out for us so kindly.
Oh, nice.
And
Thank
that's
you
like
for
his
doing
arm.
that.
Those are his 2 arms. So this is his belly. I mean, he just doesn't look obese. He looks crazy.
And his stomach never hurt or anything.
This is classic doctor shit.
Jesus.
Just be like, yeah, you're fat. I don't know.
It's their go-to move.
Try running.
It's the signature move. It's true so much of the time. Why would you even look into it?
No, it's a tumor.
No, I'm dying.
2011, he began having health problems. The stomach growing more and more. He was initially diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and obesity in 2012. 12 years later, a doctor took a closer look at him while preparing for a gastric sleeve operation to tackle his obesity. That's when they realized that Kraut was not just overweight, but a giant malignant tumor growing inside of him. My stomach kept getting bigger. I went from doctor to doctor, and in 2019, I was finally approved for a gastric sleeve.
Good Lord.
The doctors only ever talked about being overweight and diabetes. I was given Ozempic for diabetes. And before the gastric sleeve, I had to attend nutrition and fitness courses for several years.
So isn't diabetes like in the blood? Like it's not. You don't eyeball diabetes.
Yeah, it's blood
I-
sugar.
Yeah.
So he probably had diabetes.
You probably did have.
I don't
Diabetes.
know. I feel like they're just like, he must have had it.
Yeah.
You must
looking
have
at
it.
you, pal. You're pregnant.
The numbers
you have
say that
diabetes
you-
like a pregnant woman.
The numbers say that you don't have diabetes, but come on, Lardo, you know you do.
Yeah.
They called
Fat
him
man.
Lardo.
The doctor quickly realized that the hard surface of Thomas's stomach was not fat. It pressed on my stomach. It was hard and not soft, as is the case with fat, Kraut said.
Too many schnitzels.
In addition, I had lost so much weight with the change in diet and Ozempic that my face and arms were very thin. Only my stomach was huge. The doctor even said that I was actually malnourished.
Jesus.
I need to report a false lardo.
I don't know. His kidney was affected. That sucks.
I'm surprised you're alive, pal.
Took doctors 2 weeks to
Seriously.
diagnose Kraut with a rare fatty tumor that was actually made up of multiple smaller cancerous areas surrounded by fat. So when they said fatty tumor, do you think the doctors were like, I got some of it right? Not like half right.
Ah, damn. Oh, man. So I can't imagine, like, this is my greatest fear is that I will be sick like this somehow, and then they'll be like, oh, you are dying. Come back in 6 weeks. And we'll see if we can get you in to chop you in half
Sure.
and take all the tumors out.
Right. You don't have GERD. You have a cancer of throat.
Right. You actually haven't eaten too many huge sandwiches, and you should eat more of them.
You actually should be having more coffee.
You should be doubling down on 5 quesadillas a day.
They filed a lawsuit against the doctor who failed to detect the huge and potentially deadly tumor.
Got his ass.
It was initially dismissed because the type of tumor is so rare. The doctor said that they could not be blamed for having failed to detect it.
His lawyer has filed an objection.
Yeah. Oh.
Objection!
And
There you
his lawyer, of course, is Phoenix Wright.
And is a Japanese lawyer in Japan.